the generation that you get to work with, they make me feel fucking soft as hell because these dudes are animals. And, you know, you get to, let's talk about best defense and what you've been doing with them.
Yeah, especially with our World War II veterans. I mean, being around these guys, it's just absolutely amazing. I mean, I tell you, you know, Derek, you know, I've been part of the military for a long time. All my family served in the military. Living in San Diego, it's always been synonymous with my life, right? You know, I've been going through it, you know, starting with my grandfather. He's a Pearl Harbor survivor. Maximino Razzo, he was in the 25th Infantry down at the Schofield Barracks on December 7th. They got bombed. And I tell you, man, my life and my direction is because of him. And, you know, he was so proud of his, you know, he's so proud of his service. And he told me, he's like, you can achieve anything in this country if you work hard. This is America. You can live the American dream. It doesn't matter if you come from, you know, a challenging childhood. In America, you can do it. You have to apply yourself. You have to work hard. I never forgot that. I never forgot that. So that's why when I got the scholarship opportunity and going to college, it kind of like connected me to say, like, you know what, I can do this. It's not the other people, you know. And you know, and ever since then, I've been so connected to the military. I mean, I've done over 11 tours overseas, visiting our troops from Afghanistan to Niger to Djibouti to Guantanamo, Okinawa, just all over the place. To like, just to, you know, tell them that I recognize you, I see you, and I thank you for giving kids like me an opportunity to live the American dream. And that's why I give back to the military. It's like, dude, I should be a statistic. Trust me, I should be a statistic, easy. But because I was born in the greatest country in the world, because of the men and women that serve this country, give kids like us an opportunity to sit here and to give back and to make a difference, you know, to live, you know, we're just like one little small example of living the American dream.
I know.
You know?
I know. Donnie, it's crazy because I was demonized in 2016 for saying that because everybody was out there kneeling.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I don't care if it offends one guy that served, one person that served our country. If one person is offended, I'm not doing it. Because I said we live in the greatest country in the world.
Yeah. Amen.
Right? The greatest country. I had just gotten back from my first time traveling anywhere out of the States. And I went to Thailand and I saw how they lived over there. And I was like, these guys are living in bamboo huts.
Yep. Wake up call.
You know, swimming in their own shit. And they're happy as hell.
Yeah.
And we got people over here that are just, you know, miserable, crying, and you got every opportunity. Those people, if you gave those people the opportunity you have, they would be fucking millionaires. Yeah. But you're too stupid to see what you have because the comfort level is so high that you don't understand it, and you don't understand the sacrifice from the first time that from the first battle of the Revolutionary War to now, all the people that sacrificed for our freedom, and we're the last free country. There's nowhere else that you can. There's a reason why everybody wants to come here. It's the last free country. True freedom that we have. I know that like people, we have more people incarcerated. Everything. No, we still live in the best country, and America is still the greatest country on the planet. Like I don't care if you don't believe that, then why the fuck do you stay here? I said that. I was like, then why do you live here if you don't love this country? And they were like, oh, Derek Wolfe told his black teammates to go back to Africa. I was like, no, I fucking didn't. And then they redacted it, but it's like the damage had already been done. Yeah. You know, but anybody that knew me knew that was bullshit. And I didn't say that, and I would never say that.
Of course not. Of course not.
But it's crazy to show love for your country has been demonized. You know, it's like, hey, I love my country. Like, I feel like I'm a patriot, and I appreciate our veterans for everything that they've done. Why does that make me a bad guy?
No, I just wish that people will look at the flag as I do. You know, when I see that flag, you know, right there, I mean, it's the whole purpose of my life. You know what I mean? It's like I wouldn't be able to live the life or have the experiences or have anything if I didn't live in this country. You know, I've been very fortunate to see what life is on the other side. And I think a lot of people who have the biggest opinions never left this country, you know, and I think it's important to see what it is on the other side. The world is not like America. I mean, you have the rights, the freedoms to say what you want to do what you want to do, and to do all this great stuff. And you think it happens everywhere else. You know, to love who you want to love and be with this person. It happens here in America. And it doesn't happen. You may think that it happens in other places because you're just, you know, not, you know, kind of ignorant to like knowing what life is on the other side. But when you go out there, as you, just to give me an example, going to Thailand and see how different it is out there, it's a big eye opener. You know, like I've been very fortunate. I've been to over 70 countries, and to see the world and see how it's so different than what we have, and what we have here is just, we're so blessed and so lucky to be born in the greatest country in the world. And people who think that they're a victim,
Yeah.
if you think that you're a victim and you're born here in America, I got something for you. I need you to come with me, and I'll take you out there to see what world. You want to see a victim? I'll show you what a victim. If you're born here in America, I don't know where you come from, what you look like. You're a victor. You're born in the greatest country in the world. You're a victor. You won. You won the lottery. Born in this country, you won the lottery. And I want you to see that. I want people to see that. And I don't want to I want to tell people, it doesn't matter where you come from. You won.
Yeah.
You're a victor. You're not a victim. I don't care what you look like, who you love. No. Trust me. You're born in America. You're a victor. If you want to see something differently, come with me. I'll take you out to see different parts of the world where it really open up your eyes. But, I'll tell you, and I love this country, and I want to give back to this country. And that's why now with the Best Defense Foundation, we honor, recognize, and celebrate our veterans. From the oldest veterans to our newest veterans that are coming out right now, our Iraq, Afghanistan veterans with our transition program, with our World War II veterans, Vietnam veterans, taking them back to the battlefields to say thank you, to go back for the commemorations, the camaraderie, go back and see the people and just having closure, whatever that looks like. Then we do an education program, making sure we're looking at the future for our students out there to make sure that they understand the service and sacrifice of what our forefathers did and what they did, to make sure they understand that as they live the rest of their lives. You know what I mean? So these are the three elements that we're really headstrong in right now. And, it just means so much to me. And I'm just blessed to have this opportunity to serve. I mean, from a simple idea, I've been taking World War II veterans, Vietnam veterans back for 18 years. Even when I was playing pro football, taking guys back to Normandy, to Holland, to Germany, all these different places, not thinking anything of it, just not from a foundation standpoint. I mean, hell, I'm a football player. I didn't think that I could do anything with the military. I never served this country, but now we're serving in a different capacity now and given this opportunity for them. And it's just my wife Catherine, she's the one who kind of sat me down and says, you know what, you need to compile this and create a community. And do this and do it the right way. Create your team. You know how to do this. Create your team. And for the last, 6-7 years, it's just been, full speed ahead, and it's just been awesome. I mean,
what do you think the most impactful is there one thing that you've done? Because to me, the D-Day stuff is just, is there any, and I bet the Vietnam stuff is, because that was a vicious, violent war.
Yeah, it's
man.
different.
It was a whole different, that jungle. That tore people up.
I tell you, the biggest aspect is, taking these 100-year-old World War II veterans back, because a lot of them, this generation, I don't know how they made them, but they don't make them like this anymore. They're Great Depression babies. I mean, these guys are tougher than nails. And, for what they endured, what they went through, and to come back after fighting that war, against tyranny, to provide the freedom that we've enjoyed for the last, from the last 80 years. I mean, it's different. I mean, it's different from what they say now. I mean, it's different. Trust me, it's way different. And for them to come back and raise families and get jobs and just put their head down and go back to work, it's amazing. And only until about 25 years ago, we realized you know what? Damn, Grandpa, you jumped out of a plane behind enemy lines? So now we start to recognize that and give them this honor. And even in their twilight years, I mean, you see from the videos that we've done over the last, 6-7 years, I mean, we honor them, we recognize them, and we give them opportunity to connect with the people that they help liberate. And that's rewarding in their twilight years of their life, to have that ultimate closure, to know I lost my best friend, but look how France is thriving. Look how Holland is thriving. Look how Belgium is thriving. And look at the world that has been, relatively peaceful for the last 80 years, and that's just absolutely amazing. I know we're coming to the end for sure, but we're getting ready to embark on our Battle of the Bulge program here coming up. This is the 80th anniversary of that Cold War. I mean, those guys bear down. I mean, they bunker down in the snow, 101st Airborne, when they're surrounded, when General McAuliffe, when the Germans want him to surrender, and he said, yeah, nuts.
Avery, can you pull up some pictures from the Battle of the Bulge?
He said, yeah,
You'll
nuts.
be able to find pictures of it on Google.
Yeah, and for those guys that bear down and to fight back when, overwhelming odds, that fog, and they're being bombarded by those 88s, and to bunker down and to say, no, we're going to hit them in the mouth, and they came back, and and just that changed the course of history. And you talk about that resiliency that our guys have to come back, man. I just tell you, it's just absolutely amazing. Yeah, it was one of the coldest winters ever. And, for these guys to go back, I mean, they always talk, all the veterans I talk to have been part of, World War II. They always, that fought in Europe, they always talk about the Battle of the Bulge. They always talk about that battle and how cold it was. I mean, they didn't have the proper gear. They had cotton uniforms and, trench foot and no food. I mean, it's different. I mean, these guys are tough. I mean, they just made it happen, and they fought back, and they made it.
Well, there was no option.
No, exactly.
They didn't give themselves any option. It was like, hey, we're either gonna die here or we're gonna win.
Yeah.
Like that's it. There is no giving up and just being, we're not gonna give up.
See, but Derek, it goes back to that environment, and that we talked about earlier about that locker room, about the people, about the boys, about the guys, and about the group, about that, we're gonna win. We're gonna be together. I got your back, you got my back. And you had that bond, you had that jail, right? And sometimes these famous units, they had that bond, like the Band of Brothers, they had that bond, right? And like we talked about in the locker room, we had those years. You had those 3 years, I had those years as well. And you have like never say die. You can be surrounded, but you know what? We're gonna find a way to win. I don't care what the score is, we're gonna win. And these guys did it in the Battle of the Bulge, man. I just and my hat is off to them. And and I know it's coming to the end, but this is our way of saying thank you, of saluting them and giving us opportunity. I mean, we just got back from taking 50 World War II veterans back to Normandy for the 80th anniversary. The 80th anniversary of Normandy, at D-Day, we took back 50 World War II veterans. Average age was 101 years old.
Yeah, so they're 20 years old, 21 years old.
I mean, think about it.
Getting off a boat, taking heavy machine gun fire, mortars, and you're just like, you're the guy in front of you is getting fucking shot. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
Like you're coming. I mean, how many people died in that battle?
Oh man, it's crazy.
That never even got off the boat.
Yeah, and they all wanted to live too. They all wanted to have. These are all some of the veterans that went back with us. I mean, it's just amazing. But you talk about the going back. I mean, some going back for 80. After 80 years for the first time, and to see what it's like when they left, and to go back and see the love after 80 years. It's more about the people. The liberated, and making that connection with the people that they liberated, and having them see their heroes. They thought they were gods when they came here. They didn't speak the language they had. They came halfway across the world to fight for a country that they don't even speak the language, and they did that. And to have them to be celebrated. I mean, there was over 2.5 million people in Normandy, for this commemoration. I mean, President Biden, I think we had over 30 heads of state out there. It was big. And I wanted to make sure we did it big. And, working with our partners, with Delta Airlines, I mean, they really stepped up. Ed Bastian, Virginia Dore, I mean, in Bob Summers, they believed in what we wanted to do, and to make it easy for these 100-year-old World War II veterans.
They gave you guys a charter jet, right?
Yeah, for the last 3 years. To do this is great, because it's difficult. If you want to go to Normandy right now, you got to travel into Paris, and you got to take a long travel, 4 hours.
Train ride, right?
But imagine with a veteran, it's difficult, right? You got to make bathroom stops. There's wheelchairs. It's all this different stuff, and it takes a long time.
And Paris sucks.
So 3 years ago, we decided to fly directly into Normandy to make it as easy as possible for World War II veterans. So we fly directly, a charter jet, Boeing 767, right into Deauville Airport, and it's been absolutely a dream come true to make it so simple and so easy, for these warriors to come back. And this year was just absolutely amazing, to bring all these veterans. I mean, they're getting older.
You got a lot of guys that are in wheelchairs, and
and I tell you, like
great,
every World War II veteran has a 24/7 hour caregiver. And a lot of these caregivers are veterans themselves. So we had over 110 veterans on our program. I know we focus on our World War II veterans, but we had over 100 veterans themselves coming back on our charter with us, because these are the caregivers. We have Marines taking care of Marines. We have Navy SEALs taking care of we have Army guys taking care of Army guys. I mean, it's amazing. our motto is taking care of the ones who took care of us. And a lot of these, veterans themselves feel honored to take care of one of their heroes that they watch and the reason why they decide to serve. And it's great. I mean, any veteran out there that want to serve and give back, this is a great opportunity to lift up, and to take care of the last of a generation.